Welcome to Teaching Truth. Shaken but not stirred. Shaken but not stirred. The immortal words of James Bond 007. Yet words that could well have been applied to the church at Sardis. A church that was far from well. In fact, a church that was very unwell. A church that was all but dead. And therefore, Jesus, in writing to the church in Sardis, brings a very challenging command in 2 words. The 2 words are wake up. Wake up! Wake up, Sardis. You're sleeping. You're dead. You need life about you. Wake up. Ray Stedman, the Californian Christian author, in writing about the words of Jesus to the church at Sardis, says this, quote, "They were like a slap in the face, a splash of cold water, a sniff of spirits of ammonia, a shout, an urgent cry of alarm. Wake up." Jesus is saying to the church at Sardis, wake up, get real, get with it, man up, stop playing at churches, stop pretending. Jesus is coming again. I am coming soon. And the challenge to the church at Sardis is no less true than the challenge that many of us, and indeed many churches, need to hear today. Wake up, church. Get real. If the global coronavirus pandemic was about anything in relation to the church, I believe it was about the cage of the church being rattled. God saying to his church, wake up, get real, stop playing at churches. I am coming again. You see, Jesus acts in the world for the sake of his church, his bride. And just as the warning was then, it is now for the church to wake up and to wise up. It is for the church now to wake up and to wise up, to get real, to get with it. Because God, I believe, is shaking and stirring his church in these days. And let me be very honest and say that any church which has gone back to business as usual after the global coronavirus pandemic, quite frankly, has not grasped the challenge of the hour. Jesus says, wake up. Wake up, Sardis. Get with it. Get real. Stop playing at churches. I am coming soon. He's rattling their cage. He's shaking them and he's stirring them. Romans 13:11 says this, the hour has come for us to wake up from our slumber because our salvation is nearer now than when we first believed. And like the church at Sardis, we need to wake up and wise up. For if we do, we'll receive the promise that Jesus outlines and outlined to the church at Sardis, that our names will never be blotted from the Lamb's book of life. Wake up is the clarion call which Jesus gives to this church at Sardis. They needed to be stirred. They needed to be shaken. They needed to have their cage rattled because they were dead. Do we need to have our cage rattled as churches, as individuals? Only you can answer that question. But that's the challenge of this letter to the church at Sardis, to wake up. Jesus doesn't mince his words. Wake up, get with it. Let me finish our reflection today with this. Near a forest lived two boys and an old wise man. And one day they decided to test the old wise man. They decided to venture deep into the forest, obtain a bird, go to the old wise man and ask him, is the bird dead or is the bird alive? And they said to themselves, if the old wise man says that the bird is alive, we will crush it and kill it. And if he says it's dead, we will release it back into the wild and so prove the old wise man wrong. So they ventured deep into the forest, obtained the subject of the test, and went to the cottage where the old wise man lived. When the old wise man opened the door of his cottage, they asked him, wise man, we have behind our backs a bird, and we want you, because we know you are a wise man, to tell us the condition of the bird. Is the bird dead or is the bird alive? Thinking carefully for a moment, the old wise man said, you know, boys, I can't tell you the condition of the bird, but what I can tell you is this, that the life of the bird is in your hands. The life of the bird is in your hands. The life of the churches of which we're a part is in our hands. The point of the story is abundantly clear. Let's not be caught rearranging deck chairs while steaming blindly towards the icebergs. But let's take the warning of Jesus seriously, to wake up and to wise up. May we learn from what happened to the church in Sardis, because the life of your church, the life of my church, is in our hands.